All right. And I am talking. So once you get in the deal, you should be able to hear me. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. I am still talking into this microphone. Coming through all right over there? All right. Good, good. All right. Well, tell Ryan once we get started for him to call me if volume or anything needs to change. I've kind of I can visually mix it, and I can mix it with these headphones, but just for his room. But yeah, we should be good. All right. Thank you. All right.
have a who? Yeah.
Nope. Can we have everybody try to scoot in as much as possible? If you've got any empty seats, we're going to be cutting it off in just a few minutes. So if you're saving seats, we only are going to allow another 30 people in. So if you're saving seats for someone that's not here, you need to go ahead and give those seats up. Okay, if you can scoot and move around so that we can get as many people, we'd like to try to keep as many people out of the overflow room as we can. So if you could do that, that would greatly help. If you've got empty seats as people are walking in, if you want to raise your hand so people know there's some seats by you, that'd be great. Thank you.
You may be seated. We improvise well. Welcome, graduates, family, friends, faculty, and staff. Tonight is indeed a special occasion. The end of studies in a nursing program and the beginning of a promising future as registered nurses and for some as nurse practitioners. Before we recognize the graduates, we must acknowledge the sponsors for this evening's ceremony. Navicent Health graciously offered to sponsor this event. Ms. Tracy Blaylock is here this evening representing Navicent Health. Ms. Blaylock is a Senior Vice President who serves a dual role as the Chief Nursing Executive for Navicent Health and the Chief Nursing Officer for the Medical Center Navicent Health. As a member of the senior executive team, she is responsible for facilitating the design and implementing the delivery of patient care, recommending strategies to improve services, and ensuring that patients receive holistic, high-quality care. She has over 28 years of experience in nursing. I told her I would not tell her age, and has a strong passion for transformational leadership. Ms. Blaylock has assisted the Medical Center Navicent Health to become a third-time Magnet designated facility. She has served in many roles during her tenure and development at Navicent Health that has led her to her successes. Ms. Blaylock served as a bedside clinician for 12 years before she moved into an educator role, which led to numerous leadership positions, including Assistant Nurse Manager, Director of Nursing, and Assistant Vice President of Nursing. Ms. Blaylock was also appointed by the Governor of Georgia to serve on the Georgia State Board of Nursing. She has served on the selection committees for the Magnet Nurse of the Year, as well as the Georgia March of Dimes Nurse of the Year. She is a certified nurse executive, and she's also certified in med-surg nursing. Most importantly, she is a Middle Georgia State University alumni as well. She completed her ASN degree in 1989. She then continued her education, obtaining a BSN and MSN in Business Administration from Georgia College and State University. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Tracy Blaylock.
Good evening, everyone. First, let me start by saying what an honor it is for me to be here on such a meaningful night for all of you. I am here representing Navicent Health, and we are delighted to sponsor this event, and we hope that this will be a night that you, your families, your instructors, and all of your friends will remember. It is difficult for me to believe that 28 years ago, I was in your seat, as Donna reminded me. I began my education, like she said, at, it was actually called Macon Junior College, if any of you remember that. But before I graduated in 1989, the name changed to Macon State College. And now we all know it's Middle Georgia State University. But I've always been very, very proud to be a graduate of that school, as they produce very highly educated nurses, and we have many, many of those nurses at Navicent. Well, if you're like me, I was very young, but I always knew I wanted to be a nurse, but I really didn't know what it was to be a nurse. And I would tell you, it wasn't something that I learned in my first 6 months or my first year. It's one of those careers that just gets better and better each year that I practice. When I look back over my career, I have so many memories of the people that I've taken care of. Some are funny stories, some are sad stories, but they have made me the nurse I am today. When you go to work, you never know what you will encounter or who will need you, but you can always know that you will impact someone in some way, and it will be up to all of you as to what part that will stay with your patients as you care for them. In the profession of nursing, you will take care of individuals and families. Some will be in the most vulnerable states that you have ever seen.
Some will not be able to provide care for themselves, and you will have to do it for them. Some will not be able to speak, and you will have to be their voice, because you are now a nurse. Your role is to care for others when they are in need. And those you care for will not always remember your name, but they will always remember what you did for them. So tonight I say to you, you thought your journey was over, but it's just beginning. The sacrifices that you and your families have made to get you where you are, it will be well worth it. But parents, spouses, and friends, what I say to you is it doesn't stop now. There will come a time when they are going to lose their first patient, or they get the unexpected diagnosis of the patient they've become close to. They're going to need a hug or just some quiet time, a little bit of understanding that a nurse is still human and has lots of emotions. So when that day comes, remember that and give them the caring that they are providing each and every day to their patients. Well, with all that said, I am excited to be one of the first people to welcome you to the nursing profession. And what better week to have your pinning ceremony than Nurses Week, when the whole nation is celebrating nurses. Tonight is about celebrating you and your accomplishments. I wish all of you the best of luck in your careers, and I hope I see many of you walking the Navicent halls. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Would you please accept this gift on behalf of Navicent Health for sponsoring this event? Yes. Thank you. I also have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker for this evening's ceremony. It's Dr. Tara Underwood. Dr. Underwood is MGA's Dean of the School of Health Sciences. Prior to her employment at Middle Georgia, she was an associate professor of health science and chair of the Department of Health, Physical Education, and Exercise Science at Columbus State University in Georgia. Dr. Underwood brings more than 20 years of leadership experience to MGA, both in academia and in business. In addition to her work at Columbus State, Dr. Underwood has been a faculty evaluator and presentation consultant for the American Council on Education in Washington, D.C. since 2012, and an adjunct professor with Mercer University's Department of Community Medicine, College of Health Professions, Department of Public Health in Georgia since 2010. Her career has included service with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Georgia, Hampton Health Department and Tidewater Community College in Virginia, Japan Enhanced Network Systems in Tokyo, and the Building Towards Wellness Coalition in Georgia. After graduating cum laude with a Bachelor of Science degree in Community Health Education from Morris Brown College in Georgia in 1993, Dr. Underwood received her Master of Science degree in Community Health from Old Dominion University in Virginia. She earned her Doctorate of Health Administration from Central Michigan University in 2008. Please join me in welcoming our Dean of the School of Health Sciences, Dr. Tara Underwood.
Good evening. I hope you all enjoy the fascinating venue that we have chosen for this very special occasion. The Museum of Aviation is new to me. As you all just heard, I moved to the area last year. And being in this particular setting reminds me of growing up in Germany. My father is a Vietnam veteran and retired Chief Warrant Officer 3. My husband is also retired Army, and my son is currently serving in the United States Air Force. And so there were times growing up in Germany, thank you. And to all of you military veterans, active duty service members, and military family members, because we serve too. But thank you for your time, thank you for your service, and thank you for your sacrifice. And again, growing up overseas in Germany just reminded me of going to Ramstein Air Force Base and looking at the air shows they would have on the Air Force Base. So again, welcome.
Good evening, and I just want to start off by saying, as an academician, I have participated in more than 30 or 40 graduation ceremonies over the years. And so I'll keep this brief because I know the students are looking forward to moving on to getting their pins and towards graduation tomorrow. The most memorable speeches that I've heard from business leaders or from influential politicians that compel the graduating class to think and to act. And so that's what I'm going to do for you this evening, and encourage you to think and to act, even as nurses. It is my hope that you will remember at least a part of this speech, and it will inspire you to reach beyond your own professional degree in nursing and to pay it forward in some type of way. I had the honor and the opportunity to meet Dr. Nympha Saunders, the Chief Executive Officer and President of Navicent Health, last month. And talk about inspirational. She's a phenomenal leader, transformational leader, and everyone I spoke to prior to meeting her in person had nothing but positive things to say. And while I was sitting there, Navicent publishes it's a magazine, but it's a publication called Elevate. And I read a story about a nurse that helped the gentleman that ended up homeless because of his heart problem. They ended up doing heart surgery and nursing him back to health. And during that time, it was a nurse that took it upon herself to not only contribute to his treatment and his healing process, but because he lost his job and ended up living in the Salvation Army for a period of time, she actually helped him gain employment and move on to obtain a life of independence once again. So nurses are not just nurses in the healthcare setting, but you have an opportunity to do so much more. So as now you're approaching the end of your journey as a student at the associate, the baccalaureate, or the master's level, I encourage you to pause and think about your next chapter in life. Many of you know, and perhaps may not know, the tremendous opportunities that await you in your future. For the purpose of this celebratory event, I have entitled this speech, "What is your assignment?" Can everyone say that for me? Come on, I want participation from the audience. What is your assignment? If nothing else, you remember that question tonight, right? And so I encourage you as graduates to think, is it your assignment? And this is your life assignment. And for some of you, this may be the last assignment you ever think about now that exams are over. But I encourage you to think, is your assignment to heal? Is it to teach? Is it to serve? Or is it to be an advocate for those that may not have a voice or may not have the knowledge that you have gained? I've had the opportunity to witness and listen as various groups of diverse individuals deal with the passing away of their loved one, their fellow colleague, or even a friend. And depending on the beliefs of the bereaved family and friends, some of the older, more mature, wiser members of society would say they must have completed their assignment. Have you ever heard that before? They must have completed their assignment on the earth. And then you begin to think, what exactly does that mean? Now, I promise you the purpose of this message is not to leave you with morbid thoughts, but I challenge you to think about your purpose and what type of legacy would you want to leave. Even as I have attended homegoing celebrations or funerals, as some may refer them to, of my relatives and others, I normally sit in the venue and think, what type of legacy did that person leave? And what type of legacy would I want to leave? Have you ever thought about that? And again, going back to what is your assignment? Did you embrace your assignment to serve, to inspire, to heal, or to encourage others? Even as nurses walking down the hallways, it's okay to smile at each other. It's okay to encourage a coworker. It's okay to smile at a patient that may or may not have a family member or a loved one that comes to visit them. Everyone has their own unique identity and own unique situation. And I want to remind you that you become a part of their family. And depending on how you treat them as human beings, they'll remember not only what you said, but how you made them feel. And that's a life lesson that we can all learn from. Nurses function in a multitude of capabilities or capacities. Some of you were called or assigned to heal or to assist a team of other clinicians or healthcare professionals because you all do work as a team. None of you will work in silos. You'll work with therapists. You'll work with maybe a minister, a counselor, a social worker, a physician. So keep in mind you're a part of a team. Some of you may continue your education and become trained in business, as Ms. Blaylock did, okay? Some of you may go into public health, as I did, working at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Or another aspect of your education that will make your skills and the knowledge you've obtained more marketable to a larger, wider array of employers. This is just the beginning. Some of you may go on to work in healthcare operations or community health organizations or in government type of organizations, in roles in where you serve as an advocate for legislative initiatives that will shape our nation's healthcare system. And that's important. I've been to the Capitol on several occasions, and some of you may want to serve in that capacity, changing laws, and again, giving a voice to those that need your voices. Some of you may have the drive and the desire to serve internationally in the Peace Corps, or perhaps a global health ministry, the World Health Congress, or even the World Health Organization. I've been to Geneva, Switzerland, and it's a fascinating place to visit. And they really have some really interesting places where you can serve and help children or those that do not have the systems that our nation have. I encourage you once again to think beyond your normal boundaries. Read about and connect with individuals that inspire you to be your very best. True friends and colleagues are those that tell you the truth in love in order to compel you to pause, to think, and to improve. Be careful with whom you are connected with in social media. Should I say that again? Be careful who your Facebook friends are, who your Snapchat friends are, who your LinkedIn friends are. What else is out there? There's a lot of social media out there. Just be careful with whom you associate yourself with, because that is a reflection, perhaps, of who you may be. And you may not necessarily agree with everything they say. Ask yourself, will my association with this person contribute to my personal and professional goals? Employers, look at your social media sites. We are all a work in progress. As a young college student, I would not only work to complete the courses required for a degree, but I would also connect with professional organizations in order to place myself in a position to glean from the wisdom of others that came before me in order to accomplish a goal that I set for myself, either professionally or personally. I would observe their communication style, their professional experience, and their perspectives on life, on healthcare, international health initiatives, and other aspects of their being or their assignment in life. When given the opportunity, I wanted to know what books they read or publications they were reading. I would even read their publications. When given the opportunity, I wanted to know basically who they affiliated themselves with. Instead of listening to the negative messages that come your way through social media, reality television, pessimistic people, or dream stealers, I encourage you to remain inspired and observe the flight of an eagle. Notice that eagles often soar alone. They do not travel with flocks or with other birds. Their graceful flow comes from a strength designed uniquely for their assignment on the earth. Some of my informal mentors do not realize that I'm watching, I'm observing, and I'm learning from their contributions to healthcare, to our society, and to our world. People like Bill and Melinda Gates, the founders of Microsoft, have established philanthropic organizations that exist to provide funding for global efforts that contribute to a reduction in diseases that plague our world's children and underserved populations. In their words, once you've taken care of yourself and your children, the best use of extra wealth is to give it back to society. So again, my challenge for you is, how will you give back to society now that you've earned your degrees? Melinda stated, we both came from families that believed in leaving the world better than you found it. They're close friends with Warren Buffett and who's one of the wealthiest men in the world. And when I visited the World Health Organization, while taking an international health course, I discovered the Gates contribute to the operational costs of the World Health Organization. I conclude this opportunity to share by challenging you with these questions. 1, what is your assignment? 2, what would you do for free in order to leave the world better? And finally, what legacy would you leave in your family, your community, in our society? Keep in mind that I've had the honor of hearing phenomenal people, but what I must remind myself the most is what type of legacy did they leave? Would they leave, or would I want to leave? And so at this point, I would just say, what is your assignment? And congratulations, everyone. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow during graduation as you share your unique stories about being great at Middle Georgia State University. Thank you.
Now we will pin our graduates. So we're going to start with the ASN students. If you would please come forward. We're going to start on this side of the stage. Pinning for the Associate of Science and Nursing students will be done by Ms. Dawn Knight. She is the ASN Program Coordinator. Anna Alligood. Ronald Austin. Mary Beth Atkinson. Naomi Birdsong. Ashley Campbell. Chandra Churchwell. Corey Dalton. David Dalton Daniel. Callie Despain. Brian Doe. Sophia Doe. Charlotte Fasciana. Tia Gorman. Zoe Griffin. Shelby Haddon. Sydney Hester. Sabrina Hill. Sydney Hill. Nicole Hines. Mariah Jackson. Carrie Johnson. Brittany Lawton. Anna Lloyd. Carol McDonald. Audrey Moloch. Jessica Newsom. Brittany Paschal. Emily Payne. Kylie Rawls. Jessica Simpson. Megan Smith. Jade Tapley. Shelley Tatum. Amanda Thigpen. Brittany Thomas. Traisha Thornton. Victoria Tipton. Kelly Truitt. Dawn Vo. Marquisha Waters. Jessica Woods. Please join me in congratulating the graduates for the Associate of Science in Nursing degree. Now we will start with our Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree graduates. Pinning will be Dr. Carrie Wilbur, who is the BSN Program Coordinator. Portia Adams. James Bates. Elizabeth Bowling. Nastarsha Brown. Vivian Bryant. Michaela Calloway. Zane Conlon. Heather Cook. Haley Crooms. Haley Curl. Jacory Davis. Kimanisa Davis. Jamie Epperson. Alexis Fleming. Tiffany Fordham. Leah Fountain. Caitlin Fruja. Zalasia Goodman. Michael Heyman. Ashley Herb. Heather Herring. Christopher Hightower. Sydney Humphrey. Ajiawa Jalo. I was told to say that very fast. Jesse Karaoke. Victoria Lee. Abby Leroy. Akeisha London. Kristen McDaniel. Chelsea Meadows. Joseph Morris. Lucian Mosley. Susanna Oder. Whitney Oliver. Raquel Outlaw. Olivia Patton. Catherine Sanders. Taylor Sanders. Corin Schaefer. Brittany Shamp. Dana Shepard. Caitlin Smith. Haley Strickland. Jenna Taylor. Haley Thomas. Brandon Tomley. Emily Tolliver. Victoria Turnell. Jennifer Altman. Aaron Veach. Allison Watson. Shelby Wells. Morgan Whaley. Haley Williamson. Kristen Wilson. Lindsay Puckett Wood. Sorry, got distracted. Please join me in congratulating the graduates for the Bachelor of Science in Nursing. And now we have one RN to BSN completion program graduate with us tonight. And she will be penned by Dr. Carrie Wilbur, who is also our RN to BSN completion program coordinator. Lori Sears. Thank you, Lori. And now we move on to our Master of Science in Nursing. And these are adult gero acute care nurse practitioner graduates. And they will be penned by Dr. LaWanda Green, who is our MSN program coordinator. Our first one is Robert Brunson. Sorry.
They had us all.
La Ruby Benz. Tanya Carradine. Lauren Butler. Melissa Go. Please join me in congratulating the Masters of Science in Nursing graduates. Now, all the new graduates get to stand. Please stand. And anyone else in the audience who is a registered nurse, please stand for reciting of the Nightingale Pledge. We're going to recite this together. I solemnly pledge myself before God and the presence of this assembly to pass my life in purity and to practice my profession faithfully. I will abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous and will not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug. I will do all in my power to maintain and elevate the standard of my profession and will hold in confidence all personal matters committed to my keeping and family affairs coming to my knowledge in the practice of my calling, With loyalty will I endeavor to aid the physician in his work and devote myself to the welfare of those committed to my care. Congratulations. You guys can remain standing, but we're going to close. Before we close, please join me in thanking the Pinning Ceremony Planning Committee, led by Professor Debbie Brierly, for their efforts in planning this wonderful event. I want my china tomorrow. Also, I'd like to thank the faculty and staff for their dedication and commitment to academic excellence. Please thank your faculty and your staff. As we end the ceremony, the graduates will recess out of the building to the amphitheater in the front of the building. Once the graduate recession is completed, graduates, guests, can exit the building and meet the graduates in the front of the building. So please be safe in your travels, and please stand as the students recess out of the building. Congratulations, guys. See you tomorrow morning.